event. The Nahant Police Department hosting a fundraiser, Cops for Kids with Cancer. So they're going to be collecting money for that. If you have a donation, you can drop it by the police station. Please be advised, the town hall will be closed to the public this coming next Wednesday, the November 27th, closed on Thursday, the 28th, and Friday, the 29th, to celebrate Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving trash and recycling collection, due to the Thanksgiving holiday, trash and recycling will be on one-day delay and will occur on Friday, 11/29, and Saturday, 11/30. Let me see here. We'll approve, Josh, the articles on number 2.
All right, I just wanted to add that the ceremony for Max Carboni at the wharf on Wednesday, the 23rd, that's a public event, and all are welcome to come and support the Carboni family and share their memories of a wonderful kid and fine young man. So hope people can make it down to that. So 2A. First motion is, I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the meeting minutes from September 5th
I'll second the motion for discussion.
and also October 3rd. I have no discussion.
I'll second the motion, too.
All right,
No discussion.
all right. Can you say all in favor?
Yeah, I was going to about to do that.
All right.
All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
2B, I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the appointment of John Monaco as full-time Nahant police officer.
I'll second the motion.
Discussion?
Discussion.
If I may, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Officer Monaco has been involved with the Nahant Police Department since 2007. He's been a full-time police officer here in Nahant. He's also been a reserve police officer, and he is a full-time academy trained and 911 certified, so can jump right into the position. And this is to replace Officer Timmy Furlong, who has been with the Nahant Police Department for 13 years and will be moving on to Lynn Police Department next month. So a thank you to Officer Furlong for his time here, and a welcome to Officer Monaco for jumping onto the team.
Yeah, John Monaco is a great individual, and he served here once before, and he was a very good cop, police officer. And Officer Timmy, we hate to lose Timmy Furlong. He's been here for 13 years, and he's done a great job. And hopefully they'll come back, going over the Lynn Department. Okay, all those in favor?
Well, we already voted, oh no, you're right, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to accept John Monaco.
Aye.
Did you make that motion?
I made the motion, you seconded, Tony said discussion.
Oh, okay, okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The next motion is, I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the event request for the annual Santa Parade. Oops, I'm out of sequence here, aren't I?
No, that's-
Nope.
Yep,
Oh,
nope.
okay. The annual Santa Parade on December 21st, starting at 6 p.m.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, that was, Santa Parade, the Johnson School. That was out of sequence. So,
Your tree.
back on sequence. I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the, oh my God. I can read it from here.
Should be the
probably.
annual holiday
Yeah,
tree
yeah.
lighting.
Your tree.
We didn't do the Johnson School yet, though. Oh, I'm off. I'm
That
in the wrong
is-
place.
That's the same, it is sponsored by the Johnson School.
No, there's C, event request for the Johnson School Holiday Concert. We haven't done that one yet.
No. I ain't seen
I
that.
think I have it in here, but I can read it from there.
I don't see it in mine.
I don't have that on mine either.
Oh, I printed that from the one Bobby Joe emailed, as opposed to what's in the notebook here.
Just have, why don't you move on the annual holiday tree lighting?
We can do that, but should we be,
I'll check, let me just double check,
Then we can vote on the other one.
yeah. Santa Parade. I don't have that one either. Thank you. All right, so I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the event request for the annual holiday tree lighting on December 7th, starting at 4:30 PM.
I'll second the motion. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And you had one more?
Potentially.
Okay.
It's on the agenda I printed from Bobby Joe, but not in our notebook.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll just go ahead and make the motion.
Sure.
I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the event request of the Johnson Elementary School Holiday Concert on December 12th, 2019, from 6 PM to 7:30 PM.
Second? Discussion? All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Town Administrator's report?
okay. So I wanted to take the opportunity to quickly discuss Article 1 and Article 2 for the special town meeting this weekend. Article 1 is to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate from available funds in the treasury or transfer from available funds an additional sum of money to operate the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2019, or take any other action relative thereto. This article will adjust the appropriation previously approved at the annual town meeting in April. This article does not increase our water sewer rate beyond the increase that was adopted earlier this year. The $62,351 will be transferred from retained earnings. After annual town meeting earlier this year, we were informed by the Lynn Water Sewer Commission that Swampscott, Saugus, and Nahant would see an increase in charges due to the closing of Gorelick Farms. The closure of that facility, the largest single producer of wastewater in the system, led to a shift in the percentages of volume amongst the four towns in the system: Lynn, Saugus, Swampscott, and Nahant. We are estimating that the $62,351 will cover the increased charges. However, we may need to revisit the issue in May at the next annual town meeting. Currently, our retained earnings available for appropriation is $157,959. And after this transfer of $62,351, we will have a balance of $95,608. I think it's important to note that this isn't an isolated issue. The operating and maintenance contract of the Lynn Water Sewer Treatment Plant is entering a new phase, and they are required to bring the facility up to a status of good repair. And they're also under an administrative order of repair from the EPA. And they estimate a 30 to 50% increase in rates for fiscal year '22, 2 years out. So our 30-year intermunicipal agreement with Lynn Water Sewer expires next year. So it'll be incumbent of us to do some analysis on alternatives and work with the other towns on negotiating that next long-term contract. And on top of it, our costs include we have our own pressures for, our own regulatory pressures on our own system here in town, with infiltration, fixing that issue under DEP, pressuring all towns to keep sewer and stormwater separate. And then, of course, we have our own sewer infrastructure issues as well. So in the future, it's an issue that, is going to come up for some time in the future. However, this article should cover the increased amount needed to pay our bill for this fiscal year. And if not, we can revisit it in May. But I wanted to make sure that folks knew that this is going to be an issue or a topic of discussion going forward, and that this article actually uses retained earnings and doesn't increase our sewer rates any more than we've already increased them previously this year. And it leaves a balance of $95,608 in our retained earnings under Water Sewer Enterprise Fund. The second article is to appropriate $20,000 to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate and/or appropriate from available funds in the treasury or transfer from available funds a sum of $20,000 or any other sum of money for the purchase of an ocean rescue boat, including the payment of all incidental or related costs, or to take any other action relative thereto. So our ocean rescue boat, inflatable boat that is used by the fire department to launch off of the beach in an emergency situation, has met its end of life and is in need of replacement. The fire department has initiated a fundraising effort, and through that fundraising effort to collect money to put towards the purchase of a new boat. They actually received a donated boat from the Angiulo family that is going to be able to take the place of the old ocean rescue boat, and we therefore no longer need the transfer of these funds from free cash to purchase something new. And any money that might need to be put towards the donated boat can come from the money that's been fundraised or from capital funds already allocated to the fire department. So it's a great offer by the Angiulo family, and of course everyone else that donated to the fire department's fundraiser, and we want to just thank them. And we'll talk more about this at town meeting, but ultimately this article will be moved to be indefinitely postponed and will no longer be needed. So that's my explanation for Article 1 and 2. Last year, before the annual town meeting, we had some community meetings to discuss what each article meant, what they were coming from, what's the background, so that folks had an opportunity to digest that before coming to annual town meeting and only simply getting it from the book. So I wanted to do that tonight and hope to do that in the future as well. Article 3 and 4 are citizen petitions and will be explained on the floor as well. So that is my report.
Thinking about the upcoming expected water and sewer rate increases and the incursion problem that we face with stormwater kind of raises the urgency of addressing those incursion problems, because we pay by the gallon or cubic foot, whatever it is, right? So as we plan out our improvements in that system, we should keep that in mind, obviously.
Yes, we are constantly and very recently having our meters calibrated by a third party to make sure that the volume that is being read by Lynn Water Sewer agrees with our own meters. We're looking at, we're doing an assessment of our sewer force mains as well as our laterals and other mains in the town for for infiltration. So we're actively working on every possible tool that we can use to try and limit the effect of Lynn Water Sewer's facility improvements that are gonna be required, which all four towns take a piece of, and then, of course, you know, with the volumes coming down on their side in Lynn, it increases our pieces of the pie. So, we're trying to, it will definitely be helpful, to limit how much stormwater gets into our sewer system, especially because doesn't need to be treated.
Right.
And we're paying to treat it, so, that's definitely part of the effort.
And Wright Pierce is close to their evaluation report submittal, right?
Yes,
You got a sense of timing on that?
well, I was hoping to have it already this month. I would say next month we should have it, and, we should be able to provide some type of public report at a Board of Selectmen meeting shortly thereafter. And for anyone that, isn't able to watch that or, take a look at it online, I think we could probably present that report again at annual town meeting in May. So,
Very good. The repairs that are on the Linway now, that's not involving our pipe, is it? They're
no,
very close to our, couple of pipes, I see them, you know, going across that street. Is that Lynn, Swampscott, problem, or what?
I actually, when I saw the hole going across the Linway,
Yeah,
I knew it wasn't ours, because
Okay.
our sewer main goes with the Linway.
right.
So I knew it wasn't us. And I'm not sure, it could be gas, it could be electric, it could be sewer. I would assume it's gas or electric, because any sewer lines are gonna be heading in the same direction as us, you know, kinda going with the flow of traffic. So they might be installing a new service line, but, we're aware of it and, keeping an eye on it, making sure it doesn't interfere with our sewer main.
Have we looked at our sewer discharge to go down the causeway where it's going now and go across by the MDC repairs building at the end and go into the ocean, tie right into the Lynn Water Sewer? I would imagine Swampscott would like to, they're coming down and probably join us, you know, down the Linway, right in the rotary somewhere, so we can save, you know, from some money going across. I don't know what that would cost.
That's part of the assessment that Wright Pierce is doing. They did a sub-sea floor analysis to come up with a cost estimate, and that'll be part of the report that they provide us.
Oh, good.
So they're
That's-
exploring that option.
Keep those pipes off the Linway totally, you know, our pipe, you know. Good. All right. Anything else, Tony?
One thing I meant to mention at the opening comments, but we received a notice from Comcast that there's a rate change coming up. Spoiler alert, they're not going down. And everyone, I won't read this whole thing, but people that have Comcast will receive a notification that rates are changing December 20th.
Do we have the same from Verizon?
They sent us something a couple weeks ago.
Do they have them? Have we compared those cost increases?
I didn't compare the two, and if I remember correctly, Verizon was, I don't know if that was a notification that costs were.
I think it was a rate change and they were gonna send notices out in mid-December, I think.
Yeah, I think.
And this is kind of an à la carte, you know, if you have this package, it goes up by $3, and that package, it goes up by $5. But basically, it looks like each one's going up about $3.
Right, yeah, okay. Very good. That's it?
Mm-hmm.
We have any other business?
Citizens Forum?
Oh, yes. Hold on, sit down. Not yet. I want to make sure the selectmen have any. Okay.
Thank you. Alice Court, 7 Valley Road. I don't know about you, but I know that our household received a letter from the military about munitions that might be sprinkled on Nahant from another island in the harbor. So I was wondering if the town had received any information or if you had thoughts or things that town residents should know about those letters. Thanks.
Thank you for bringing that up. I apologize for not having that on the agenda. It was a sudden mailing that went out. We didn't have any advance notice of it either. And it's simply just notification that there could be ammunition on the Nahant property, but it seemed to mostly be identifying the waters, and that if you were to encounter anything, to follow the steps provided in that mailing. There was no discovery of ammunition in Nahant. It's a requirement of the Army Corps. I forget the name of the program, but it's listed in that letter. It's a requirement of the program to provide that information out to not only Nahant, but actually Hull got a letter, Boston Harbor Island communities all received a similar letter. So, please don't be alarmed. But if you happen to encounter anything, to follow the steps listed in that letter, in that pamphlet, and if you have any questions, to call the number at the bottom of that notice, and they should be able to provide any answers.
Where do you live on Valley Road?
Number 7.
We,
Did you not hear me? I said it enough.
there was nothing found anywhere. It was just, I think, a letter from the Department of the Defense and the Army, and there is no such, we have not found anything, the beaches or anywhere. There's more, they were firing offshore, that's where the test firing was going on, but nothing's been showing up lately. Maybe at Josh's house, the selectmen got one.
My house predates munitions.
Yeah, yeah, predated. Anyone else? Yes.
Hello, Diane Monteith, 20 Seabreeze Lane. First of all, I'd just like to invite all my fellow citizens to join in on Saturday for the special town meeting. It's very important, and we received over 250 signatures from voters to hold the special town meeting. So we'd like to welcome everyone, and I wanted to ask a question. I was talking to the town clerk today as far as check-in times, and on the town website it said could check in early just to be prepared for the 12:30 start time. If that was discussed, is it true that people can come anytime afternoon time to check in and get settled? Or?
You probably, if you check in at between 12 and 12:15, I would think you'd probably get a seat. I think there's gonna be a lot of people here. We're expecting a max number of people. So
That would be great.
We're getting set up for, that way.
Wonderful.
So, I mean, yeah, if not, if you're late, you'll probably be standing on the side, and these gonna be lengthy discussions.
Wow. Will there be any time limit on the speakers? I know you just had that kind of discussion, no?
It's up to the moderator, it's the moderator's meeting. Not the
Okay.
Board of Selectmen, it's the
Okay.
moderator's meeting.
Are you at liberty to tell us about the possible electronic voting? Is that a
Well,
reality?
the town clerk brought it out at the FinCom meeting tonight. We met early at 7, and that's all gonna be explained. Whether we use it or not, that's all has to be explained, and I understand the two companies representing the electronic will be here to answer those questions. Whether we use it or not, that's up to the town moderator. It's his meeting.
I see. Because I just wanted to, it's a busy Saturday, and we recognize the value of everyone's time, so whatever we can do to facilitate that. And again, tell your family and friends, it's an important part of our democratic process, so I welcome everyone to come and vote. Thank you so
It's
much.
a tough weekend to have a meeting
It's
like
okay,
this.
they can come. It's not going to be that long. It's going to go quick. It's going to go.
Yeah, so they were, we left the FinCom meeting a little bit early, but they were still discussing the electronic voting devices, but I guess I would say it was sounding like they would at least have them available. They actually were going to call the company's representative as we were leaving the meeting. But also, just want to remind people that Articles 3 and 4 are zoning law changes, so that requires a 2/3 vote to pass.
Those are zoning articles, yeah, that you're gonna need a 2/3 vote. Again, it's gonna be a tough weekend. I hope people show up, but I think the electronic devices that the clerk is gonna provide, save a lot of time, I think. And the count will be accurate, instead of people with paper ballots and running around. It'll save a lot of time and effort, I think, so, might be good.
Sharon Hawks, 332 Nahant Road, and I direct the library. Library Board of Trustees is asking the Board of Selectmen to eliminate overdue fines for late returning books. Since the library is involved in a major capital campaign to take care of the building, it may encourage patrons to donate instead of paying a fine. In other libraries, this has been seen to actually increase usage of the library as well as increase donations, relieving more of the financial burden on the town to repair the building. Currently, overdue fines bring less than $200 to the town each year. The elimination of fines actually was a question on the quiz show, Wait, Don't Tell Me, this past week, because this was done recently in Chicago and is obviously a very exciting event. Boston Public Library removed fines for children card holders last month. It's seen as a good move for libraries everywhere to encourage people not to let the fear of overdues get in the way of reading. I should note that patrons who don't return their items in a timely manner or who damage the items still will be charged for the cost of replacing the item. With the consensus of the Selectmen, we propose to begin this new policy on January 1st, 2020. Happy New Year.
Have you discussed this with the library trustees?
Yes, the trustees have voted in favor.
In favor of it?
Yes.
And
You should have submitted that to the town administrator. Has he got a copy of that?
It has. She did. She did. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd like to table it for another week, 2 weeks, until we take a look at that. I'd like to review that.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay?
Very good. Thank you.
The first time, and it's not in the book, I'd like to have that submitted and read it, review it, so that we have, no questions, to make sure we understand exactly what we're approving. And I didn't think we had approved the library stuff.
Well, it's interesting. The Board of Selectmen don't actually approve the fees issued by the library. However, library fees are deposited into the general fund. So while I think the analysis resulted in only about $200 annually, and
That's correct. In 2018, the amount that came in was 175, so yes.
so not a major hit to the general fund, and certainly has shown in other districts and other places around the state, and actually country, that it's actually increased usership of the library. So I don't think that there's an action item for us to take, even though it's somewhat odd. You would think we would have an action item to take because it affects the general fund, but I don't think we have any type of authority over the fees issued by the
Right,
library.
because it, yes.
I don't think we have to vote.
You don't think we have to?
I think it was, I asked Sharon to come and speak about it at the Board of Select meeting to inform the residents of the change in the policy.
All right. We won't vote. Good, thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Do you have anything else? Before I close the meeting and adjourn, I want to, excuse me, I want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving and a safe one. And I think the weather looks pretty good, so we hopefully won't have to use that pile of salt we just built up down in Public Works. But that's good. The town hall, as I read earlier, is going to be closed next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. So the town hall staff, town administrator, can enjoy Thanksgiving as well.
We'll actually be here on Wednesday.
Right.
We're using it as a fall cleaning opportunity.
Okay.
To do some office cleaning of desks and paperwork and, expired public records.
So don't show up on Wednesday.
So Wednesday we'll be here. If there's an emergency, if someone needs something, we'd be happy to help out. But we're trying to use the day. We're closing it to the public, although, of course, we'll be here. And, but then we'll be closed on Thursday and Friday.
Very good. Hearing no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Seconded?
Motion's been made and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Good night and God bless.